us today from all over the world, and many are from Southeast Asia, and I understand that there are many all the way even from France, even from Australia, even from New Zealand. I think we should give all our friends online a cyber clap. Okay, give them a cyber clap. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity given to me to share my 20 years of experience. And I really hope tonight I can add value to your life. And of course, the past few weeks, grabbing the headlines of all the news channels has none other than coronavirus 2019. Well, it saddened many of us regarding many of the cases and some of the sad tales that come with it. But I believe humankind have proven ourselves that we can conquer, okay, any virus from the past experience. And I believe this time we can also overcome this. And of course, moving forward, on the 11th of March, WHO director have declared COVID-19 as a pandemic. And as far as I know, this is the first pandemic caused by a coronavirus. And this is pretty serious. And of course, apart from a pandemic, the COVID-19 has also caught many off guard, including a billionaire investor, Warren Buffett. And he did mention recently, he calls coronavirus a very scary start. Okay, and in fact, you can see from the slide, this VIX, the so-called fear index, the CBOE volatility index, has skyrocketed over the past couple of weeks. And when the VIX goes up a lot, it's a clear sign that many investors are scared. Okay, according to Motley Fool. And really, there's we call it there's panic out there in we call it the financial market. And never have we been ever seen in our lives a scenario with so many countries' economies shutting down at the same time. But it's an irony because if we don't shut down the economy, we cannot actually contain the virus. So of course, it's we call it a situation that many of the countries are facing with. And of course, moving forward, I believe the question that lingers on many people's minds are, how long will this be? And of course, this is an important question, okay, to all of us, facing all of us. If coronavirus were to actually last till year end, will you be fine? Okay, will your personal economy be fine? And second, of course, how are we going to navigate our financial plans through this, we call it situation? And the writings are on the wall that it's a fact that the world is in recession, and of course, short of depression. And I really sincerely hope that we will not fall into depression, because many lives will be ruined or be affected. And of course, the key questions we need to ask ourselves, okay, will your personal economy be in crisis? Okay, with this current situation surrounding us, and what is your financial plan? Okay, during this crisis, I think these are important questions that we have to actually ask ourselves. And of course, until you actively reprogram your mind, your past will be an excellent indicator of the future. You see, when many of us ask about this topic, the best financial plan in crisis, a lot of people thought that probably I'm going to talk about a financial product, or some of us may think that I'll be talking about savings habit. Okay, or some of us may be thinking that I'm talking about a proven cash flow business. Or maybe, okay, some of you may be thinking that I may be covering a holistic strategy. But in actual fact, okay, what is a financial plan? Okay, you need a plan, because you don't have a plan, right? Okay, you get nowhere. And until you actually reprogram your mind, your past will be an excellent indicator of your future. So we always know, okay, in a room whereby you have a certain temperature, right? In order for you to actually adjust the room temperature permanently, okay, what you need to do is you have to adjust the thermostat, because by adjusting the thermostat, will you be able to permanently influence the temperature in the room? So same thing likewise, okay, for us probably to actually navigate all this crisis. It's not about us getting enough financial product. It's not just about the savings habit. We need to actually reprogram our mindset so that we can actually get out of this crisis together. And of course, only when the tide goes out, right, like what Warren Buffett has actually mentioned, okay, then he did mention this to many investors, because when everything is good, everything is fine, everybody looks fine. Okay, and he did mention this statement, only when the tide goes out do you discover who has been swimming naked. And we all know this COVID-19 has been an exit test or a real test, okay, on the financial immunity to many companies and the financial immunity of many individuals. So I would say the key question is that how wealthy are you? Okay, with the onset of coronavirus, we had to start re-evaluating our understanding of wealth. And of course, moving on, Many of our lifestyle are okay if we continue work with income coming in to offset our expenses. But the key thing about even in what this multimillionaire Robert Kiyosaki as I mentioned, okay, he did mention this in his books, and he did mention in his many of his talks. He did say that the definition of wealth is not the number of days okay, you can survive without physically working. And we all know during this COVID-19 economy knockdown, many of us or probably many of our friends are forced to actually stop working. Okay, and or anyone in the household physically working. In other words, okay, is if you stop working, the key definition of wealth is that the number of days that you can continue to survive without you working. And of course, during this COVID-19, we have seen many people, right, okay, lost their livelihood because once their job is being suspended, they got no income source. So we need to understand, okay, wealth is not the measure in terms of how much money we have in the bank. Okay, the true definition of wealth should be measured by the number of days you can survive, okay, if you're not able to work. And of course, a good financial plan is not how to generate income, but about migrating your income source to the, we call the business quadrant. And as you can see on screen, Robert Kiyosaki defined the world, okay, he split the world groups into 4 groups of people. The first group is what we call employees. The second group is called self-employed. And the third group where I'm operating in is called business owner. And of course, the last group is investor. Of course, I belong to a few of these groups. But key thing is that we need to start to have a financial plan to migrate ourselves, okay, to the B quadrant. And I did mention to a lot of friends that it's not about which country you are in now. Okay, if you are in a particular country and you think that probably the welfare there is not good, okay, you might not also survive in other countries. It's not about the countries. It's not about the economy there. It's about our mindset. And of course, moving on, we need to ask ourselves this question, okay, because all of us earn different types of income. Many of us are probably at this time is still thinking about the size of our income. But in this pandemic and in this situation, we have seen how the size of income is actually of a little value, okay, as compared to the type of income you're making. And of course, there are 3 types of income that you can possibly earn. One is called the earned income that you can actually make from working for people, from employment. The second kind of income is called passive income, whereby you can actually derive a residual income from probably your rental properties, probably even from the books, or we call that a royalty income. The last one is called portfolio income. And the key thing we need to ask ourselves at this junction is that what percentage of income comes from each? Okay, how much of your income is actually coming from earned income? Do you have any percentage of income coming from passive income? And of course, during this current crisis, we have seen and currently witnessed with our own eyes the importance of having a passive income. So your financial plan must include the intention to create passive income. If you don't have any current passive income now, it's okay, but you need to have this intention. And of course, many of us, okay, our way of actually making money is to have a financial plan by being an employee. And let's take a look what has happened recently. And it's very sad that many of our friends has lost their job. Okay, I have a lot of friends. Okay, at my age now, we are at we call it a very high risk group. I'm 49 years old this year, and we are called a high risk group because once we are considered highly paid. Okay, we call it professional managers. Okay, and if we have to actually ask to go, okay, we'll be actually the company will actually ask us to go because we are considered a very high expense to them. And it's very sad because we can see that with the ongoing coronavirus situation, right, more and more companies are laying off their workers. Okay, and even despite probably, okay, many of the workers and the employees have been working so hard for the company. And of course, the key thing that even recently there's a very big, we call it this bread chain. Okay, then they even, okay, cut the employee salaries as much as 50%. And to me, okay, if you don't have a control over your income, or you don't have a control over your salary, that's very huge risk. A lot of people say that, okay, running a business is very risky. I say if you don't have a control over your salary, that's even riskier. And you can see from here that I don't believe, okay, this bread chain, right, wanted to do this. But in an effort probably to save the company, right, this is probably one of the best measures, right, they have to adopt. And of course, as an employee, we should stop budgeting and start thinking what's best impact on the dollar. Okay, budgeting can only help you so much. Okay, that's not the best financial plan you can have. So instead of doing that, right, we must start to think of an investment in a business that can provide residual income without robbing your health in the long run. And of course, I would say that, okay, if you are having a 9-to-5 job, it's a very tough job because it's tough to scale up. You're not able to actually scale, or you will not, in actual fact, if you have a job, you have zero leverage and we'll be trapped trading time for money, okay, in our employment days, you see. And you can see earlier on, they mentioned that 70% of those are retrenched are above the age of 40. This is what we call the high-risk group. And of course, these statistics applies to Singapore, but I believe they are similar to all the other countries in the whole world. Okay, and you can see that despite the skills and the qualification that the PMETs have gotten over the years of employment, okay, over the so many years of hard work, but what is facing them is a very risky road ahead. And of course, to me, okay, many people are, in actual fact, are trading the life for the money. Now, of course, there's another way we can actually have a financial plan by being self-employed. But I heard, okay, in this we call it the pandemic, there are many sad tales of Grab drivers, okay, not making enough money because they cannot go out, okay, because many of the passengers are refusing probably to even take public transport now, for fear that they may actually contract the virus, you see. So, and on top of this, okay, many of the freelance workers, their incomes are dropping significantly during this tough period. And we all know, okay, probably many of my friends, okay, are in the self-employed industry. Like, for example, this is a case that has happened in our neighboring country, Malaysia, which we have a lot of Malaysians online. Okay, and to me, okay, I have a lot of friends who are we call insurance agents, and I really, really respect them because to me, they are one of the hardest working group of people in the whole world. And I really sincerely salute them. But you can see from here that despite, okay, probably the hard work, even the company, okay, this happened last year, also intended to actually cut the commission, okay, after so many years, you see. So once, as I said, if you're not in control of your income, right, okay, you are in a very high risk group. And of course, there's another group of people which I also give my utmost respect to. It's called the real estate agents. I have many good friends who are real estate agents. They are very highly intelligent group of people, really, because they are very, very good, okay, and many of them are very good marketer, and many of them are very good in actually helping their customers, you see. And as I said, I respect this group of people a lot. And you can see from here, because due to the pandemic and due to the virus, I can see from here, this is happened in a neighboring country, Hong Kong. And Hong Kong, apart from this coronavirus, before the coronavirus set in, right, we all know that there's a political instability situation that happened there. And due to all these escalating problems, you can see that salaries which are largely anchored by sales commission have dropped about 2/3 in the current market slump. And you can see from here, okay, can you just imagine, okay, if your income were to drop by 2/3, what will happen to you? What will happen to you? And I'm sad to say that, okay, many of our friends who are real estate agents, they are very, very hardworking. It's not because of the fault that the income dropped. It's because of the market forces. So if we have a financial plan as a real estate or self-employed agent side, we really have to actually reconsider our options. And to me, okay, if you do not have a leverage, okay, you have a lack of leverage, right? This is huge risk. This is a huge risk that we are facing in terms of a financial plan. And of course, let's take a look at an example. And this boxing champion, many of us might know him. Okay, he has made more than US $300 million in his boxing career. Okay, and but he sadly he had to declare bankruptcy in 2003. And according to Wikipedia, media reported that he owed US 20 million in debt. Okay, back then. So talking about this, to me, it's also a self-employed. Okay, it's not a matter of how much money you are making, you see, because you are self-employed. Okay, eventually time will become your enemy. Okay, because all of us will get older. Okay, if you are young, it's okay. Okay, but as you grow older, right, you may not have the energy, okay, or we call it the attention span, okay, as focused as a young person to compete with we call the millionaires and the young people. So we must understand this, okay, time will become your enemy as a self-employed. And not only this, okay, applying to the employee and the self-employed, they have a particular financial plan is that they are characterized by these two characteristics, back to zero and non-accumulative. In other words, okay, every year or every month, okay, you have to actually go out to actually source for your income source. And not only this, okay, to certain times you are subject to a quota requirement. So whatever things you have done in the past, okay, it's not accumulative. So in other words, as I said, time will become your enemy. So it's not about how much you can earn in this year that matter, but rather 10 years later, what kind of income will you be earning? This is the question I want you to start thinking, okay, during this pandemic, you see. And of course, given that you can see that the stock market has actually more or less softened, short of crashing. Many of the billionaires has actually lost close to 25% of the net worth in the stock market crashed recently. You see, to me, the billionaires are losing 25% of net worth, right? They are still billionaires. Okay, but the problem is that if ordinary folks like us were to lose 25% of our net worth, right, I don't think there's a very good scenario to be caught in. And of course, let's take a look. Some of the friends will say that, okay, my financial plan is to make sure that I have enough savings, okay, to make sure that I invest in the right investment plans. Let's take a look. Okay, the financial crisis impact on real estate prices. This is a historical, we call the data taken out, okay, to reflect the real estate prices situation in Singapore. Okay, well, we all know we have to hold on long term for your property portfolio, okay, probably for it to actually gain in terms of value. But sometimes in tough times, many of us are forced to sell their properties at a much lower value in the difficult times. So you are forced to sell at a price that you don't intend to. Okay, and of course, in this current situation, fortunately, okay, Singapore MAS has stepped forward this time to encourage the banks to help extend relief to mortgage payments to Singaporeans. And of course, in the past, we call it a crisis. We may not be so fortunate. Okay, and if you are caught in the next crisis, you may not be so fortunate. Same thing like the shares. Okay, and of course, in terms of real estate, the government has actually lent a helping hand. Okay, but if you are in a real estate portfolio, until now, I don't see any government lending a helping hand to tell you that, okay, probably you are suffering we call it financial loss, okay, and because of your shares have dropped in value, okay, they are going to actually extend you a situation or extend you a loan to help you. That will never happen. Okay, and you can see that it really happened. Of course, we can say that we can hold on to our paper loss and ride out the storm. But in the event during a crisis, we need the money. Okay, we need the money. Okay, and we are caught in a situation we have to sell at a huge loss. I don't think that's a very good financial planning at all. And of course, let's take a look. Okay, next is you can see from here that the stock market has dropped. Okay, and many of the indices, okay, the stock index in the whole world has dropped by close to 20 to even 30%. Okay, over the last particular month, you see, and you can see that even not only this, okay, Asian stock side also have continued actually going down. Not only the Asian stocks have actually gone down, you can see from here that even commodity prices are falling sharply. This is a unique situation whereby many of the, we call it the asset that we know in the past can hold value, but many of them are dropping in value. So next, so I need to say one thing, that if you are thinking that we can actually use our savings as a financial plan, okay, to help us, I need to say this thing: savings is a virtue. It's not a foolproof plan. Okay, it's a virtue. It's a virtue whereby I believe everybody should have. Okay, because in order for you to become wealthy, first and foremost, you need to be able to have the savings habit. But that alone will not make sure that you can become financially successful. And you can see from here that I pull up a chart. Okay, this is just some of the, we call it the salary information on the different jobs that is happening in Singapore. Okay, ranging from accounts assistant, store manager, all the way to a CFO. And you can see from here, okay, that's the average income as reported by this Vulcan Post. Okay, and you can see from here, example, accounts assistant earning a 30,000 annual income, right? It will take him or her 33 years just to actually make $1 million US. And assuming okay, all these job holders, right, they are able to save 5%, okay, of their net earnings every year. Of course, some may say that we have EPF and CPF, but we all know that majority of our CPF and EPF has been actually gone to paying off the mortgage on the property that we purchased. And so, in other words, this 5% is good savings. If you're able to actually save 5%, it's considered good savings. But let's take a look at this. If you're able to actually put aside 5% of your earnings every year at returns of 8% per annum, I would say, if you're able to actually achieve consistently 8% per annum for 40 years, that's very good. Yeah, is it considered very good? Yeah, this is very good, no? Okay, and on the basis that you have been contributing continuously. Okay, if you're accounts assistant, if you have been continuously contributing to your this we call retirement fund, 40 years later, you have 400,000. Okay, in your savings account. And of course, we have R&D engineer because he has been earning a higher pay. Okay, you need to take him 17 years to actually hit 1 million so-called accumulated income. But of course, if you were to stash away 5% of his earnings side at 8%, right, he will hit 800,000 retirement earnings. Let's take a look. Some may say, oh, I am the CFO. I have my earnings every year is 300,000. This pretty good income. Okay, and you need to take about 3 years for this CFO to actually hit 1 million. Okay, and you can see from here that he will or she will have a 4 million savings retirement fund. I'll talk about this later. Okay, but you must understand one thing. Okay, despite all the government costs, regardless of which country are you from, many of the governments are telling us that we need to actually save for retirement. But the dismay balances, okay, which is existing in our Central Provident Fund, CPF, and the EPF fund side, reflect savings is not a foolproof plan to become financially free. You can tell. Singapore and Malaysia, we have the statistics to show that despite after working so hard for many years, we don't have enough to even hit the minimum sum. So let's go back to the CFO. Okay, let's go back to the CFO. Okay, you can see from here that the CFO, yes, it takes 3 years to actually make 1 million. But you must understand, first and foremost, like, the CFO did not make such an income on the first year. Yes or no? Because obviously the CFO has to start from we call it as probably as a junior position and climb all his way up to become a CFO. So probably this does not happen on the very first year. Okay, and on the second thing is that okay, the CFO might need to have a consistent contribution with net 8%. And of course, yeah, some of us may envy the $4 million is a big sum. But let's take a look. This 4 million happened after 40 years. And for those are very good at numbers, because I know that we have a lot of financial advisors in the audience today. 4 million in today's value is only $1 million Singapore dollars. Okay, 4 million today could be 1 million ringgit, whatever currency you want to use. It's only 1 million. And if you were to actually withdraw 40,000 per month on an annuity basis, okay, you actually were to actually put your money into an annuity. Okay, at an interest rate of 4% and an inflation rate of 2%, right? Your retirement savings will be gone in 10 years. My friend, 10 years, your retirement savings of 4 million will be gone. And I need to say one thing, okay, do you think 1 million in today's current situation, is it big money? If you are CFO, definitely you are used to a very good lifestyle. Okay, let me ask you a question, okay, assuming this would happen to you, you have only 1 million now to retire as a CFO. Do you think it's sufficient? I don't know. To me, I don't think this is a very good financial plan. And of course, next, some of us may adopt a financial plan by being by starting our own business as a business owner. Let's take a look. And of course, I did mention that this current pandemic has really tested, okay, whether some of the big business side is able to actually survive. And you can see that many of the F&B this time around are being hit. I need to say one thing, okay, we are not jeering them. My purpose today is just to educate. Okay, my hearts go out to all these business owners. As far as possible, I still buy my Starbucks coffee online. Okay, getting the Grab driver to actually send it to me. So we do our very best to support them. But it's a fact that okay, the F&B business this time now are being hit very badly. And next, and we need to understand one thing. If you want to start a business, you need to understand one concept about limited business and unlimited businesses. What is limited business? In other words, you want to set up a restaurant chain or set up a bakery shop. Okay, you are definitely in a deficit because many of us have to actually take out our own money or probably have a loan from the bank to actually start the business. But as a business grow, right, okay, you will start to make money. But typically, like many of the businesses which has limited potential, it will hit, we call it a peak. And after that, what will happen? It will stay there. Because like any businesses, they are in a fixed location. Okay, they are in a fixed area. They can only have that kind of coverage. So they have a we call it a fixed potential or a fixed income. Okay, but what will happen is that this is not the bad thing about limited business. The bad thing about limited business is that should there be any situation that happen that cause your customers to go away, you start to see that you still have a high fixed cost to actually take care of, and your profits will start with we call it go down. You see, So this is a very scary thing about limited business. So I need to ask you see, for those who intend to start a business, do you think this is a good business? And I don't know. Okay, let's take a look. What's a good business? A good business should be of this nature, whereby it has a unlimited outward potential. Unlimited outward potential. In other words, okay, when I set up, probably okay, the cost of setting up the system, the cost of setting up a business site could cost you some money. But as you grow, okay, there's no upper limit on how far you can actually reach out to. This is a business whereby, to me, this is an awesome business. And of course, taking a look at this side, okay, we need to understand, all of us make choices. Okay, all of us make choices in life. We need to understand one thing, all millionaires create their wealth by a carefully orchestrated process. Wealth is a process, not an event. A lot of people thought that, okay, by buying this product, okay, this is an event, I can become successful. Okay, I become financially okay. Okay, by joining particularly, we call it a talk, I become successful. That's an event. So I need to say one thing, I said, it's a process. It's a hard work process. So today, my job is not to just tell you that, oh, voila, by after listening to this talk, right, all of us will get out of the crisis. No, to be fair to all of you. But we need to understand, okay, it's a process. It's not an event. And of course, what we offer here, we can offer you a proven global personal franchise business, which has operated around the world and proven for 35 years. Okay, and over the last 35 years, okay, we have actually seen many crises, and we have actually overcome them. And every time we become stronger. And of course, financial crisis, okay, is the best opportunity to create a business for yourself. Okay, and in fact, it's the best opportunity to start a business. And not only this, okay, and we all know that crisis will hit us every 8 to 10 years. And our business is crisis proven. You can see from here that over the last 20 years, ever since I'm in business side, you can see, okay, we have a lot of our business partners who actually joined us during the crisis back then. And many of them now are already millionaire earners. Okay, so same thing likewise, okay, this could be an opportunity open to you if you're willing to actually open your heart and open your mind to actually understand more. While many businesses have stopped or temporarily suspended operations, and today we know that Singapore, our Prime Minister has announced, okay, the non-essential businesses have to stop. Okay, but business is still very brisk in our offices. And of course, over the last 35 years, okay, we have created 1,550 millionaires. And to you, okay, you must ask yourself this question. There are many opportunity platforms out there, but you have to ask yourself this question. First and foremost, is the opportunity proven? Okay. Next, do they have an easy to follow plan? Okay, because if it's a difficult plan to duplicate, I don't think that is for anyone. Next, are this group of people that are still young and energetic? Are this group of entrepreneurs still young and energetic and passionate to actually teach you about the business? And last but not least, okay, are they willing to mentor you? I need to say the word mentor. Mentor is not teaching. Okay, teaching has a lesser responsibility than mentoring. Mentoring, okay, mentors have to ensure that you get results. So my key question is that, are they willing to mentor you? That's a question you need to ask yourself. And of course, apart from this side, okay, any good businesses must have, we call it good products that whereby the market needs them. And in this pandemic, we are glad to say that we have able to actually help, okay, in this situation, okay, with our technology. We have a proven disruptive technology to help your body become younger at a genetic level. Of course, we cannot claim that we can get rid of COVID-19. We cannot do that. Okay, I need to say one thing, but okay, I need to say one thing, that our products can definitely help to a certain extent, you see. And this, of course, you can talk to your friends who actually invited you here. And of course, we have a pioneering opportunity opening up. Okay, for those who are interested, okay, in the next couple of months, we'll be launching our next powerful product called H-Lock Boost. Okay, and we are looking for pioneering a batch of we call it entrepreneurs. Okay, same thing likewise, you can talk to your friends who invited you to this seminar. And of course, next, okay, a lot of people tell me, Mr. Ong, okay, I don't like to sell. Okay, this is a business or it's a seminar to ask me to sell. But I need to say one thing. In actual fact, all of us are already selling. Okay, first and foremost, what are we selling? First thing, you're selling your time. Every day when we go to work, right, we really are selling our time to actually trade for money. Okay, in actual fact, we call it professionals, we are already selling our experience. Okay, people are listening to you and they're willing to pay for your advice. Okay, and in fact, sad to say, many of us are selling our health. Okay, going to work, Okay, I'm very unhappy, okay, with the work and at our pay. Hopefully we can get a better pay and toiling at the work that rob our health, you see. And of course, some of us are okay in a business whereby it's taking away our youth. Youth, in other words, after many years later, right, you look so haggard. And last but not least, okay, selling your soul. And of course, I will say that our soul is worth more than a weekend. And pardon me for saying that, okay, but in 2007, right, I need to tell you a story, and a true story. And on a cold January morning, right, a violinist, okay, the station himself in Washington, D.C., train station, and he played 6 classical pieces, okay, and except this was no ordinary violinist, and the violin that he was playing on, right, was no ordinary violin. Okay, this is the Incognito Joshua Bell. Okay, one of the greatest violinists in the world, who nights earlier, right, who has played to a sold concert hall in Boston for nearly $100 a ticket. Back then in 2007, $100 US dollars is a big thing. As Joshua played on his 3.5 million US dollars violin. Okay, bear in mind it's 3.5 million. Okay, in the midst of the morning commuter rush, right, approximately 2,000 people was passing through the station. Most of them are on the way to work. He played continuously for 45 minutes, but only 6 people stopped to listen briefly. There's no crowd. About 20 folks gave him about some money, but continued onward at a brisk pace. When he finished, there was silence except for a rhythmic hustle of a train station. No applause, no crowd, no recognition. This experiment was conducted by Washington Post, and it uncovered something very incredibly powerful. Not even the most greatest musician can illuminate the blinding depths of rat race and those entrenched by indifference. So my question is that, have we been so numb by making a living that the living has sucked out our life? Are we so blinded by Monday to Friday that any beauty that's seen before us is muted? So to me, the ultimate sanity is to sell our soul Monday to Friday for a paycheck, okay, and on a paycheck on Saturday and Sunday. What do you mean by for a paycheck on Saturday and Sunday? You see, many of my friends are very happy. Today is Friday, yeah, TGI Friday, because tomorrow Saturday and Sunday they don't have to work. But to me, it's insanity. Okay, this is called trading 5 for 2. In other words, we all know, for those who are good at numbers, if I ask you for $5 today, tomorrow I'm going to return you $2 back. Will you do that? Will you do this deal with me? You give me $5 today, tomorrow I'll give you $2 back. Will you take this deal? Will you? The answer is definitely no. Okay, because it's a negative 60% returns. But for us who have actually been working outside, we all know Monday to Friday, we have to actually sell our soul to the company that we work for, literally. Hopefully that we can have a good rest on Saturday and Sunday. No offense, but my point is that, okay, who said that we cannot enjoy our time on Monday to Friday? So with that, we'd like to offer you a business whereby you have 5 immediate benefits of starting a business immediately. The first benefit is that we all know that in today's pandemic, health is important. Regardless of how wealthy you are, okay, how much money in the bank, that doesn't matter, okay, when COVID-19 will to hunt you down. So to me, okay, the first benefit that we can have is that we can start boosting our family immunity to fight against COVID-19 when we first join the business by using our products. And of course, the second benefit is that you can have immediate profits. Very few businesses nowadays can actually allow you to make money instantly, because especially in today's situation, we need money instantly. Okay, and we all need to know, because the rich thinks on return of capital. Many of the people will think is many of the common folks, when they do investment, they think on the return on capital. How many percent am I getting back? Is this a 20% rate of return? Is this a 10% rate of return? Is it a 50% rate of return? But the rich always think about getting back that investment capital as soon as possible. In other words, okay, if I put $1 million in, right, I need to see my $1 million back as soon as possible. That's what I mean by the rich thinks of return on capital. So in our business, okay, you can start earning immediately on the first day. You start the business while keeping your current job. You don't have to quit your job, okay? You can share part-time on the business. How would you want, how would an extra $500 US dollars per month mean to your family now? How about extra 2,000 US dollars? How about extra 5,000 US dollars? Do you think that this extra money will help you in these difficult times? And of course, the third benefit that you can have is easy to master turnkey system. It's not difficult. Anybody can actually master our system. And the next short-term benefit is that this is a zero-risk business. Zero risk in the sense that, okay, we don't require to actually pump in a huge capital. Okay, later you can talk to your friends. So actually we invited you to this webinar, how you can do that. Last but not least, on the, we call it the short-term benefit. We offer you a high leverage business, okay, whereby you can potentially have an infinite residual returns on your business. Next, of course, other than the short term, we are not here to just solve short-term problems, because whatever is long-term will eventually become short-term. We also offer, our business offer you 5 long-term benefits. First and foremost, we offer you a global business. Our business is entrenched in 50 over markets. In other words, okay, you can do your business in 50 over countries. You can have customers from 50 over countries. So you are not limited by the geographical situation you are in now. And of course, the next long-term benefit is that we offer you a high residual income. Okay, coronavirus shows us the importance of having residual income. It's like building our house. Okay, when you build a house, right, okay, you need the roof over your house. And to me, the roof is the passive income that will shelter us from the sun and the rain. And you must understand, okay, the faster you build the house, the roof, the safer for you. Because it will definitely rain. It's a matter of time. It may not rain in 1 week. It may not rain in 1 month. But the chances and the probability of rain happening, okay, in 1 year is very high. So the faster you're able to actually build your shelter, or we call your residual income over your house site, the better for you and your family. And bear in mind, life does not begin on Friday night and end on Monday morning. So you need to have high residual income. Next, okay, we are also offering you a business whereby you can pass on to your next generation. Okay, and last but not least, okay, we also offer you a lifestyle business whereby play is work, work is play. I like my business because every day we are playing. Okay, it's a fun business. Okay, you can able actually have fun time with all our colleagues. And next, last but not least, okay, the business allows you to discover the best of you. This was a picture taken of me in 2001, and after 19 years in the business side, okay, this is how I look like. Okay, and I think now, okay, there's no loss. Okay, in this COVID-19 crisis, the world realized that, okay, all of us are equal. Okay, wealth is meaningless without health. At the end of the day, even if you don't make money from our business, but you become healthier and younger, is that a loss to you? If you're able, through our products, to transform yourself to look better and become healthier, is it a loss to you? And of course, last but not least, what should we do now? Talk to your friends who actually will invite you to this webinar, okay, to enroll now free, okay, and grab the pioneering opportunity. Next, and talk to them about our this millionaire roadmap plan. Okay, it's a business plan, okay, for your financial freedom. And of course, last but not least, okay, everyone wants to be successful, but few are willing to pay for the price. And we all know that the world is engaged in the ongoing economic recession. Okay, we can either pay the price of security or pay the price of freedom. The choice is yours. And next, okay, and while the coronavirus is real, the real destruction is the economy. The long-term problem is not coronavirus, it's the lack of financial education. However, we are already past the need of financial education. What we need urgently now is financial metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means to transform or evolve from an immature form to a mature form. Now is the time to transform yourself into whatever you need to be to survive and then thrive. Now is the time to be an entrepreneur. You can be the positive change the world needs now. Grab the opportunity to reinvent yourself, okay, and remember, the price of trying is always lower than the price of regret. And with that, I end my sharing. I'm very thankful for all your time, and I wish in this situation, all of us stay safe, and we send our regards and our love to all of you and your family members. Thank you.
Thank you, Ong